Good morning, everyone. This is Melissa, the Stamp Doc. Today I'm just going to demonstrate a quick card for you and show you some additional samples with the Peaceful Poppies suite. There's a lot of construction going on right outside my house today, so it's very loud and there's a lot of crashing and booming, and I wasn't sure that I would be able to stay live for very long with all the noise. So there's a quiet few minutes, and so that's why this live will be very quick. So today I am demonstrating Peaceful Poppies suite, and this can be found on page 24, 25, and then also 26 and 27 of the January through June mini catalog. So there's a lot in this suite. We're going to use most of the products that are featured here in the complete bundle, and I did put all of the item numbers up in the description for you as well. So let me give you a closer look at some of these items because they're a little hard to see here. The first thing is that you'll notice on that is the beautiful paper. So of that paper, I only have a small piece left of this, but it's Old Olive and then some of the rich razzleberry and blackberry bliss flowers on this side. And then this is a really bold, pretty pattern. And all of these are double-sided. There's not any foil embossing or anything, but just beautiful watercolor poppies on these. And another very big, bold print. And you'll notice that there's some lighter areas on this paper. This isn't a defect, that's just the way that was designed. And you can really see it on this next one. It almost looks like somebody spilled a little bleach on here, but it is supposed to have that effect. And then some more of those purple poppies. And this is one of my favorites, and we're going to be using this on our project today. And another one of those bleached out looking papers. And then this one, which makes great standalone cards just by itself. Really just a beautiful watercolor paper. And then the green on the back. So those are the designer series papers, and with that you get 2 each of those patterns. So you get 12 sheets all together in the package. And then we have our painted poppies. This stamp set right here mainly features images, so there's no words with this whatsoever. And then this is the die set that goes with that. So you can see there's a lot of great little pieces that are perfect for creating greetings and also cutting out your poppy images from this stamp set. And then the other one is the Peaceful Moments bundle. And this is where you get lots of great sentiments. So you can see all of those on there. You've got happy birthday, sympathy, thinking of you, thank you. I think you've got a congratulations on there. So you got just a little bit of everything. So that's perfect for that. And then that one comes with a lot of the die cut images where you can create your own poppies and leaves. And I'll show you how some of these other die cuts work as well, because they're really interesting also. So I'm going to set those aside. And then the accessories that come with this, you're going to get the Peaceful Poppy sequins in that sweet bundle. And there's a lot of reds, golds, blacks, and whites in there. So just really pretty, and tons of them. We will use those on our card. And then we've also got the Whisper White crinkle ribbon, and I'm going to show you a fun technique that you can do with this too, because whenever you've got white ribbon, you've got the ability to actually change the color on it. So the card that we're going to be making is the card that we did in my open house. And we also did this card on stage. So if you're a demonstrator, you may have already seen this card before. I do simplify it slightly for my open house so that we can get those done. Sometimes I'll have as many as 10 people show up at one time. And everyone wants to do their card at the same time. So I do simplify that just a little bit so that it's easy, but that also makes it nice for like mass production. So if you're wanting to make a bunch of birthday cards like this, this is a great one to go with. The measurements are in the description, so you can get this going right away. We've got a poppy Poppy Parade card base. And let me get my materials over here. And we'll be ready with those. So I've got everything already cut. And I'm going to fold my card in half. I've already got that pre-scored. And I'm going to start with the poppy image. And I'm going to just stamp that tone on tone with the Poppy Parade ink pad. And if you don't have the Poppy Parade ink pad, you could easily substitute a Versamark pad for this. It'll give you a very similar look. So we're going to ink that up, and I'm just going to stamp these poppies very randomly all over the front, just to give that a little bit of dimension. And you can't really do too many or too few. You're just doing what feels good to you. Okay, so I've got that on there. And you can see, like I said, it's just very subtle, but it adds just something a little bit more than that plain cardstock base. All right, so then I'm going to add my papers. So I've cut a stripe piece and a floral piece, and I'm going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue. I find just especially when it's kind of humid out, this really works great, and it kind of gets into all those nooks and crannies to adhere that down. Oh, that's going to be a mess. Oh well, things like that happen, don't they? All right, so I'm going to put that across there. We're going to hope that I don't get my hand in the glue. Maybe I will. Yeah, I'm just going to be gluey today, sorry. Yep, it's just going to have to happen. That's what happens when you use glue. You get sticky fingers. And we're going to just lay that one across there also. Okay. So while that's drying, while I get my fingers unstuck just a little bit, I'm going to use the Happy Birthday, and I'm going to stamp that in black memento ink. And I'm going to do that just right there at the very bottom. And again, to add just a little bit of interest to that, I'm going to tear. And I always find it's easier if you just tear it towards you to give that torn edge. Now remember I told you I was going to show you a neat technique to do with the ribbon. I cut 10 inches of that ribbon, and I'm going to use an old olive ink pad and this little image here. So normally this one is the fill-in image for this stamp, but we're going to use it to color our ribbon. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm just going to stamp that ribbon. And I'm going to do it, I'm going to use it at least twice before I re-ink. And what that will do is it's going to give me kind of a variegated light green color to that ribbon. And if I see any areas I want to go over, I can just go back and do that again. So you can see that that colored my ribbon beautifully. Okay. And then I'm going to tie that ribbon around the top here. And what I do when I do this, I like to leave just enough that I can tie here. Here's the sad thing, guys. My fingers are so super sticky right now because of that glue. This is going to be a little hard to do, but we're going to get through it. So, let's see if I can do this. You know, it's live video. There's always something that can go wrong. Now, when we were on stage, we tied this in a bow, and we tied it around a few more times. They gave us a really long length of ribbon to do this with. But again, I'd only bought one roll of the ribbon, so had to simplify it a little bit for us to be able to do a bunch of cards. Okay. Now I'm going to trim that up. Just trim those ends. And we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of that so that we can pop that up on our card. All right. Here we go. And dimensionals always make everything a little better. And they're not quite as sticky. So again, this is the card we made at the open house and also at On Stage this year. And I am having sticky difficulties, guys. This is going to look really funny behind the scenes. Can you guys hear the beeping of the construction trucks out there? They're really very loud this morning, so I wasn't sure if that was going to be super distracting or not. It's definitely distracting to me, if you were wondering. All right, now I'm going to use my Peaceful Poppies sequins, and I'm going to show you how I use that with the Take Your Pick tool. So this end up here, oops, let me put that back in. That shouldn't have come out. We're going to squeeze that back on. Okay. So you got just a tiny bit. You don't really need much of this little sticky stuff. Just a tiny nubbin of that will work. And then I usually take this end off so that I've got my little pointer there. And I'm going to go ahead first. I'm just going to put a couple of dots of glue on here where I want my sequins to go. Now, another little tip is just to kind of let that dry for a minute, but since we're live, we're not going to do that. But if you do, it tends to not get so messy and it's going to dry a lot quicker. So I'm going to grab a sequin with my Take Your Pick tool. So that really right there, that holds on to it. And then I keep this one in my right hand. So this one's in my non-dominant hand. This one's in my right hand. I'm going to place that down where I want it. And then I use this one to move it into place. Okay, so it's almost a chopsticks move. Almost. So you want to place it with your non-dominant hand and then use the little pointer to put it in place. And let's put like one more on there. And I do end up with these everywhere, it seems like. Okay, and then there is our finished card. So if you place an order with me this week, you're going to get this card in the mail as your thank you because I've got some extras. And I wanted to go ahead and show you some other samples made with this Peaceful Poppies suite. So all of the items that I showed in this, they're listed in the description, as well as all of the measurements you need to make this card. So here are a few others. Remember I showed you the one paper and I told you that it basically could do a standalone. This is one of those, and all I did was just add an embossed greeting there at the bottom. This is another one here that I did. This right here, there are Peaceful Poppies elements in the suite bundle, and both of these pieces come in that. So there's a whole variety of things that come in there, and then I just embossed the greeting on those. This little die cut here, I wanted to just show you. It doesn't cut out. It creates a window into your card. And let me find where that one is. Okay. It's in this one, and this is what it looks like. So you can see that. And then these are the poppies put together with those dies and the leaves. So very pretty. And of course I added sequins to that. Here's another one that I did the poppy in the Blackberry Bliss and black, and using that one paper that I've used a lot of. And then this one I just simply cased from the catalog. I think this one's on the front cover. This little piece right here really reminds me of the one from Swirly Bird. It's right here. What I love about it is it actually has this stitched area in the middle that you can stamp your greetings. and I was able to tie some of that Whisper White ribbon on there. And then I just added a few die cut leaves and a little bit of vellum behind it to make a really cute card. So that one was really quick and easy. So I'll be sharing those coming up in a few weeks on my blog. I'm not quite ready to do that. I do have a lot of Valentine projects still to share, and I will be posting a video for you later, if you haven't already seen it, that has a great little Valentine's Day project. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully next week I can do a little bit more, and they'll be past my house on the construction thing. But if you have any questions about anything, feel free to drop me a message. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great week.